Yo, sleepers, Augiesaint here and welcome to the channel. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day, and as you can see, the sun is rising on the beautiful deep desert filled with sand, spice, and just misery, but fortunes bewait us all. In this video, I want to share with you guys my quick deep desert build on our deep desert base, what it's looking like right now. Now this base might be a little bit too big for most solo players, but I have managed to farm all these materials for this base for myself solo mainly. And then from this week onwards, now we've actually started getting guild members and we're getting a bunch of people actually joining in and playing. So from now on out, most of my stuff is going to be with the help of other players, but I was totally able to achieve all of this by myself solo. It took about 3 weeks or so of actually, farming out the game and getting everything. We do have a carrier, we got a crawler, we pretty much got everything you might want or need in a deep desert base. That's what I just want to share with you guys, how I've gone ahead and set up this deep desert base, which is very friendly for a solo player, but also really good for like if you have a bunch of friends, maybe like 3-4 people joining in. This base is pretty big underneath where we have a lot of space for Ornies to land. You can see we can fit out the carrier up here and the crawler, no problems. And then we also do have space on the roof for some more generators. I personally just switched over to spice generators this week because we can actually just afford them and they're just a little bit easier to run than these. I mean, these wind turbines are not bad and the lube is actually pretty easy to make. So I would definitely recommend using those until you can afford the spice generators. The spice generators aren't that pricey in the deep desert, obviously because of like the 50% reduction. But initially, just run yourself with these wind generators. Make sure you bring some lube, fill them up, and you'll be good to go. So while we're up here, I just want to show you guys the roof up here. This is obviously, you can change this out for more flooring like this to go ahead and add the wind turbines if you're not at the stage yet where you're using more spice generators. So you can see there is a whole lot of space up here. I think usually I use about 8 to 10 of these wind turbines for the way that I have the base set up. So just keep that in mind. And then we can also see the size of here. Let's have a look at the base overall. Let's go check it out from down the bottom of this mountain real quick. And we can just make our way up there. So you can see we have it built on a rock cliff. And if you guys want, I can make a video showing you some advanced building tactics. But just a quick, easy thing you can do is if you want to build higher up onto a rock face or like any mountain list, you see how everyone else around here also pretty much did the same thing. They've elevated all their bases. That one right there is like in the middle of the air. All you have to do is plop down a sub-thief on top of this mountain, and then you build up like 5 foundations up, like right in the middle where you want to place the sub-thief. And then you just climb up that foundation that you built. You delete your sub-thief and you replace it on top of that foundation. I will actually make a little video demonstration or a short about it pretty soon. And that's all you do really. Just do that and then you place the sub-thief exactly where you want it. And you can also see where everything is within the building. If we can go ahead and look at our construction tool. Let me show you guys here. You can see how high we can actually go up. So you see our block is like perfectly on line with this rock formation instead of when you usually place the sub-thief, because whatever you get above where you place the sub-thief in the middle, you also get building underneath. So this is how you use it to actually elevate, your building underneath. So you can actually make use of all of that. So that's why I was able to fit this massive tall building all within just an advanced sub-thief. There's no stakes on you at all, and it all fits in perfectly good. So now let's actually get up in there and show you guys what we got rocking on the inside. So you guys have seen the top. We had the carrier and the sand crawler, but let's now start from the landing bay. This is where you actually come in. This is the hangar where everyone brings in their assaults, and where you bring in, this is just a fly-in hangar. Can fly in because obviously we're coming from the deep desert over there. That's the entrance down in the south, and you can just fly straight up north. We are currently in sector E8, so it's like right on the edge of the safe zone. So this is our deep desert forward base, but you can see we have quite a large hangar here. And then I made these little things up here as well, like this little flooring over here so people can land. Obviously if there's more of us, usually there's not more than like 2 or 3 of us on at the same time. We don't have a lot of people playing, but it is more than just me myself now. So me, myself, and I is pretty much, we're all playing. So this is our flooring here. We just have this out. And I did the triangle bit of here because it was so close to the edge, I couldn't actually fit another floor. So if you guys are figuring like how to, because you see this rooftop here, I wasn't able to build a second one out because it was just a little bit too thick. As you can see, that if you do the triangle method like that, then it actually reduces the size a little bit. So you can see it's probably about 70%. And all you got to do for that is just, take a triangle rooftop and start latching them on like that and building them in and on, basically just attaching it to this floor. So the one triangle out, one triangle in, one triangle out. Just do that all the way around to use as much space as you can with the limited amount of sub-thief. So basically once I placed this down, so I basically built this in Hangar Basin before I brought it across, and then I just built one block in from the max block of the sub-thief, if that makes sense. So like all the way around the sub-thief, or all the way around from where I was building. I just moved one foundation, or one wall size, actually like one floor top. You see the square, one square inwards. You can see we're like basically one square away from the edge. Well, 1.5 in this case, because we have these triangle versions of here. So let's carry on with the build. This is the hangar. You can land in over here. This is all just extra space. We need more people. And then we have the penta shields in there. So if there is a storm, you can obviously park your Ornies inside so they don't get hit up by the storm. We have enough space. So yeah, probably about 4, maybe 5 assaults could fit in here. And then the scouts, you can obviously just chuck in your pocket. Yeah, I think we can easily fit 5 assaults in here because we just, position a little bit better. Your wings can stick out the penta shield like that. And you can easily get 5 assault Ornies in there. But you don't need to. I'm just saying you can. And then over here, we just have a little bit of a fabricator, repair station, recycler. For whatever reason, I don't like the recycler, but some of the guildies playing, they like to recycle stuff. I hate this machine. This thing is terrible, but it's there. Weapons fabricator for some rocket ammo. And just 2 storage boxes. Now let's actually go down. I'll show you guys where all the magic happens. We have the basic setup. I would recommend this is still manageable for a solo player, but if you go any bigger than this, it's going to probably start to become a bit of a struggle with materials, resources, and how we have it all set up. So we come down here, we see we have the chemical refiner. We've got the spice refiner. This goes up 5 levels. That's why we obviously had to build this in there, and that's the block up top that you see with the hangar. The hangar is only that part in the front. And then this is all blocked out by the spice refiner. So 5 levels up, chemical refiner, spice refiner, ore refiner. I do recommend making these 2 as fast as possible, especially the spice refiner. As soon as you can upgrade that, I definitely recommend getting to the medium one and then immediately getting to the large one once you can go ahead and afford it. It is pretty expensive, but definitely worth it because it gives you like 50% more melange compared to the base spice refiner. And then same thing with the large ore refinery. It's also very much better for the platinum ingots and everything, and just the water, just the production time as well. You have one of these back in Haga Basin, it increases how much aluminum you get. I think it almost doubles, or it does double how much aluminum you get. Maybe it's like 7 aluminum for the normal refiner below this one, the medium refiner. So definitely worth it to try and get yourself the large refiner straight away. But I would say the large spice refiner is probably what I would focus on. And then for the chests over here, we have all of these set up as dump chests for, spice and ores and stuff. And anything we find in testing stations in the deep desert, we just chuck in the first 2. And the rest are ores and spice and things. We need to go out and actually farm some more. But these big ones, I would not recommend these anywhere outside of the deep desert. Maybe later on once you got a lot of materials, but they are pretty expensive for what they give you. They only give you, they do give you 100 slots, which is pretty nice, and 3,500 volume. So it's just about double this one. Yeah, the volume, and then the slots is obviously more than double. So it's pretty good, but it's kind of iffy. Don't make too many of these right away. You can get away with just making a bunch of these, especially in the deep desert, because these are half price. So these are only like 23 aluminum and I think maybe 4 silicone, whereas these cost a bit of. Go ahead and piece picker this. In the deep desert, this is only 35 plastone, 7 silicone, and 2 melange. But obviously outside the deep desert, that is pretty expensive. Whereas if you have a look at these ones inside, they're 23 and 4, so pretty cheap and affordable to go ahead and just make a bunch of these. And you can also do the double thing like we've done over here. You just need to place a wall. You need to make sure you use the chome roof. We'll go ahead and piece picker this. It is the chome facility rooftop. I'm going to use that because it's the only thinnest rooftop where everything will actually fit underneath. You can line it up on top with more of these chests, and you can get a whole bunch of chests up on top. So your storage is pretty good and sorted that way. We just have these big ones because we have a ton of materials now. Then our destills, we are running 6 destills, but this you just run as many as you can manage. I would say at least 3 to 4. You want to try and aim for like 3 to 4 initially when you are starting out, because these are really good and you just haul over bodies. Every time you come to deep desert, bring your scout or your salt with storage, and then make sure you fill them up with bodies. You can have these destills running as often as possible. These 6 destills are giving me, I think, like 270,000 or 270,000 milliliters of water every 50 minutes. Just go ahead and refresh the bodies, and the platinum costs a lot of water to go ahead and craft. The spice is not so bad, but the platinum is 1250 water per single craft. So once you start crafting it, this actually goes really fast. So make sure you are stocking up on your water. And then we also, for the water, we have 10 of the large water storages. So that's going to give us a stockpile of 1 million water. Go less or go more, depending on what you need and what you want. And then we have our large 3 spice generators in the back here. These are the power generators. These are actually really easy to go ahead and power. For the spice fuel cells, we can have them running quite a long time. And they're not that bad to make once you're at the point where we do have, quite a bit of melange and quite a bit of platinum to spare. Just a lot easier to set up. They take less space. Just plop them down and then chuck some of the spice infused power cells in them. which you can go ahead and make at the chemical refinery. Let's have a look at this. You just need water, fuel cells, spice residue, and irradiated slag. Now, irradiated slag might be a little bit annoying for you. We have a ton of this back in Augiesaint. This is found in the radiation zone, which you'll be doing for other things as well. So Jasmine and some other of the PvP bases runs down there. So getting the radiated slag is not that bad, and once you hit the point where we're at, you're pretty much going to have enough of it to go ahead and fuel these generators. I'd recommend switching over to them once you can. Just use the turbines until you can. I use the turbines for the first 3 weeks or so in the deep desert, but now we have gone ahead and switched over to these. But that's pretty much the layout. The base is pretty good and functional. We have the 2 levels down below, which is the 5 levels up there for the spice generator. We go up the stairs. Hangar is 3 levels high for the assaults to park in, and the scouts, and we go up these stairs over here, and this is obviously where the spice generator is hidden behind this. Come up here, and then on top we have 3 levels up as well. That is for the carrier and the sand crawler, and then we do have a buggy in this box, which we can also build and take out whenever we need or want it in the deep. So overall we have 2 levels down below, 3 levels for this hangar, and 3 levels for the top hangar. So it's at 3, 6, 7, 8. So we've got 8 levels up, and then across we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, 8 by 8, pretty much an 8 by 8 box. And then obviously underneath it's a little bit deeper for the foundation and getting down as far as we need to go. But that's going to be it for this video. So let me know what you guys think about our deep desert base. And I know a lot of you guys have asked if I can sell my base schematics and stuff, you know, like the replicator on the market. I can actually do that for you guys, but I'm not sure if everybody watching my videos will be able to find them, because I think it is bound to the servers. So if you're within the same server as me, then you can go ahead and buy my base. Otherwise, you are not going to be able to buy it, I don't think. But I'll put some up on the market. I'll name them like Augiesaint FOB, so the Deep Desert Forward Operating Base. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, please drop a like and sub to the channel. It helps me out so much. And may the spice ever be in your favor. I'll catch you guys in the next one.
Run free and dive into the sky. Hear the